David Amess.
Before the House adjourns for the Easter recess, there are a number of points I wish to raise. A constituent of mine, Kazim, has recently sent me a DVD called Earthlings. I share her concern about the proposed badger cull. Planet Leasing in my constituency is a car leasing firm. They do a wonderful job in taking on school leavers to serve internships. They've recently even won the Employer of the Year award in October 2012. They celebrated their 6th birthday on the 14th of March. I'm very proud to have them in the constituency. Another business called Honeywell. Whenever we turn on switches and lights, they come from Honeywell. They are a Fortune 100 company who created many of the sockets we use at the moment, including in the Olympic Games. But in the course of my visit to the factory, the topic of carbon monoxide detectors came up. Their particular concern is that when a house is draft-proofed, the risk of CO poisoning increases. Under the Green Deal, we have been promised that CO detectors would be fitted as a legal requirement. I do hope that will happen. Hospitals at weekends, unfortunately, they do a marvellous job, but they don't seem to work. Recently, my 92-year-old aunt was in hospital for a day, returned home, no one there to look after her. She's standing on the road, fell down and broke her hip. Absolute disaster. Jill Allen King, a blind constituent, has raised a very important issue of the eligibility criteria to the higher rate of the mobility component, part of the disability living allowance. Those who reach the age of 65 lose their particular benefits, which seems an extraordinary thing to me. Essex County Bowling Club, who are currently £26,000 worth off as they have been refused readmittance to the community amateur sports clubs. As such, they have not been receiving the tax relief that they were previously given, and the Inland Revenue, I think, need to be more helpful. East of England Ambulance Service are struggling under a number of difficulties at the moment. I hear first-hand accounts of how one addict called the ambulance 9 times a day. As of 2010, ambulance calls were increasing at the rate of 6.5% each year, and considering each call costs £200, it's an absolute disgrace that this service is being abused. Gas prices are far too high. I was the proud person to introduce the Warm Homes and Energy Conservation Act 2000, and I very much hope that the energy bill will deal with current high prices of gas. Small claims courts give our constituents a wonderful opportunity of getting redress relatively cheaply, but we do look very carefully at how they are financed and how they operate at the moment. Whistleblowers seem to be the flavour of the month. In 1998 in this House, I publicly defended a lady called Sharon Tattoo, but it was the NHS establishment of the day that won, and the chairman of the Health Trust who defended Mrs. Sharon Tattoo, who was forced to resign. An absolute disgrace. I hope the health team will look at that again. Spinnaker, led by Phil Parry, a wonderful company in my constituency, who specialise in shipping, maritime, marine world recruitment, have an exemplary customer relations, and they should be congratulated for all the work they do at home and abroad. A constituent of mine has written to me. He's 38. His wife has been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and unbelievably, bereavement allowance only operates from the age of 45. That needs to be changed. A constituent of mine has a brother, Abid, a British national, who's been sentenced to 25 years imprisonment in Pakistan for supposedly murdering his father. If you look at the case details, Mr. Deputy Speaker, it's an absolute disgrace. I'm calling on the Foreign Secretary to do something very quickly about the situation. I end, Mr. Deputy Speaker, with Southend. It's clear to me, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that everyone is getting behind Southend's bid to be the culture city in 2017. Well, Southend United are playing in the cup final on the 7th of April. I very much hope they win, and in wishing you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, particularly Joseph and Fidel, who work in the gift shop down below, who are retiring after a combined period of 60 years. I wish everyone a very happy Easter, but if anyone wants a destination this year, it must be The Only Way is Essex.
Jim Shannon.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy.